What's up, everybody? Welcome to
Good
the
evening.
live. We'll give it a minute so everybody can fall in through. How we do. Take a little time and jam out real quick. Everybody fall in the building. This is level up in tech. Let's go. Yeah. Not ready to try you. Try you. Hit it. Got 30 more seconds before we get started. You can hear me. You see yourself. Put a yes in the chat. Let's go. Hey. Let's go. All right. Hey, thank y'all for joining us. This is a live event where we're going to talk about tech layoffs and how to future-proof yourself for 2023 and beyond. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Broadus, founder and owner of Level Up in Tech. And today I have my senior AWS coach, dog, my bro. We all are family here. He is one of the best coaches that we've had. Zaire Ali, Boubaye Ali, Boubaye.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Appreciate you for having me out, Broadus. Here to talk about some tech layoffs and hopefully offer some comfort and some strategies to, weather the storm, as they say. So,
yeah, for sure. So, listen, we're going to give you some rapid fire advice and rapid fire value, but drop your questions about how to future proof yourself in the chat. We're going to take care of it after we give you the value. Okay. So, hey, let's just fire off. Let's fire off right now. Let's go to the number one thing right now that people want to know about tech layoffs. Why are tech layoffs happening? All right. So, for me, I see this is a result of over hiring, and now the market is correcting. Right, we had a market where inflation was super high, and a lot of companies were trying to get all of that money. They wanted all of that profit, so they were hiring a lot of people to get the job done. They were paying salaries that were crazy, and now that the market is correcting itself, and I'm not saying the market is tanking because it's not. It's correcting itself. Companies are now they can't receive the profits that they normally will receive in Q2 and Q3 of last year, and they're looking at their forecast for the next year too, and they have to just cut some jobs. And unfortunately, for most roles, it's typically non-technical right now. So if you're in a non-technical role like recruiting, I've seen a lot of marketing roles, a lot of account manager roles being axed from the companies because right now companies are trying to show profit. They're trying to restructure debt. They're trying to, create a situation for investors so they could be in the black in the next quarters of their forecast. What do you think, Zaire?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that, right? So we had the Rona hit. There was a lot of layoffs around that time, right? A lot of people not working, but people were actually forced to move towards the cloud in order for their business to survive. And so they saw, huge opportunity because they were lower in expenses as far as brick and mortar establishments, and all of the profits were on the rise. So a lot of companies, FANG specifically, right? They went and overhired, right? And so they were expecting that continuous growth, and now that growth is not there anymore, right? So we're at the end of the fiscal year, and so now they're looking at those earnings reports. Things ain't matching up, and so now they're trying to figure out how they can kind of move on from here. And unfortunately, layoffs is one of the best ways to kind of cut those costs.
Yeah, especially if you have investors that are invested in your company, the quickest way to show profits is fire people, unfortunately, right? So, and we talk about when the pandemic hit in 2020, companies are now really recovering from that because look at when the pandemic hit, a lot of companies were anti-cloud, and that forced companies to really take on cloud technology that didn't even know anything about it, and they had to hire people to hit the ground running. They had to hire as many people as they could to take advantage of helping them maintain their cloud infrastructure. And after the pandemic, after we slowly got out of it in 2021, They start looking at what, damn, look how much money we're spending. Look at how much money we spent. We can't really afford to take on that hit going on in 2022 and 2023. So, let's talk about the next reason, let's talk about why you should still jump into tech right now. A lot of people are looking at those companies that are laying off and say, man, tech is taking a hit. I don't know if I should get into it right now. But this is why you still should, because you could position yourself to enter the market at the worst part of the correction, right? So if you take advantage right now and learn a skill set and really look at what companies want, you can put yourself in a position to land any role you want right now. So this is what this means. So you have companies that are laying off the huge tech companies, FANG companies, Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, Google, Microsoft. They are laying off. You see this all over. Huge tech companies, people are losing jobs. But you still forget there's the automotive industry that have tech roles. You have the financial industry that have tech roles. You have the healthcare industry that have tech roles. So there's still plenty of tech jobs out there for you to land. So this is why you still should jump into tech, because if you're looking at it from the small percentage of people that's getting laid off, you're missing a huge opportunity. What do you think, Zaire?
Yeah, I definitely agree with that, right? So a lot of people always kind of focus on those FANG companies, but there are other companies, right, that are still seeing growth, like you said. So every time there's a bear market somewhere, there's going to be a bull market somewhere else. So we just need to figure out where that is, right? You mentioned some of those already. In addition, we've got those niche environments. And so if you come from, something that's more of a financial background, that's a great way to kind of get into a place that has to do DevOps or other cloud technologies in a financial setting, because you actually don't need to be trained on the financial side. So because they don't have to essentially pay you to learn the business knowledge, that's a bigger opportunity for you to kind of come in and get a role over there.
Yeah. And, a lot of you are in an industry right now where you're not making the money that you want to make, right? So, I mean, let's really face that and talk about that. You're making, some people making $10, $12, $15, $20 an hour, and that's not where you want to be. Even people that are making $40 or $50 an hour are not where they want to be. So, this is an industry that is, even though it's not recession proof, it has shown statistics of being stable during recessive times. I had to be careful how I word that, right?
Yeah,
But
exactly.
you
Right.
tech has shown proof that it's been stable during recessive times, even through the pandemic where we were supposed to be going through a recession there. Tech exploded. Now we're seeing some layoffs of non-technical roles. This is a perfect opportunity for somebody to create a strategy to help them get hands-on skills and technical skills for them to land engineering roles or roles that they could be more hands-on and involved in companies, right? So that won't happen again. Now, before we move further, I want to make sure, you know, if you all on this event right now, for those who are on the event, take a part in our special promotion for Level Up in Tech. Put a LU in the chat right now if you want to take a part of a special promotion to join our Level Up in Tech program for the March cohort. We're taking seats for March right now. So put the LUs in the chat and our team will get with you. But we're going to keep the conversation going because it is rapid fire. So, number 3, right? How do you skill proof yourself to land a tech role? So, always level up your skill set. Self-development is key. So a lot of you all want to learn cloud, want to be an expert in this, want to, get hands-on into a technical career and become an engineer. Do it. Tech doesn't have a bubble around us that says you can't do it too. If you're outside of the technical industry right now, you need to just look at it and say, this is a perfect opportunity for me to jump. If you don't jump, you won't know. If you won't know, you won't go. If you won't go, you won't grow. So let's continue to just think about self-development. The more books you read, the more things you do, you're going to put yourself ahead of people that's in the industry. believe it or not, Zaire could tell you as well. Tech is not about knowing everything. We don't know everything.
That's hyper unrealistic.
You know what I'm saying? For the person that's looking at this right now thinking that you're supposed to be a genius, we don't know everything. So you're going to get into a role, and it's going to be somebody that's been in a role for 10 years. And you're going to look at them, oh my God, that person is my mentor. That person is a genius. That person knows everything. But that person's looking at you, hoping they don't let you down because they feel like they don't know anything.
Right. Yeah, especially when you've kind of focused on one specific topic for 10 years, right? So a lot of people have been with the same company or within the same exact niche. And so they don't have that wide range of skill set, right? They know how to do things in one specific way. And you, as new talent coming in, bring fresh ideas, right? And so that's why they always kind of want to include you. The people that are senior there, if there's a new problem that comes across the desk, they're going to be digging into it just like you would, right? Following different kind of research procedures in order to get to the answer.
Yep, for sure. And collaborate with others, right? So once again, don't be afraid to get out your box. One thing that helped me get into tech, and I'll say this to the day I die, is I put myself out there and collaborated and networked with others and shared my story. That was one of the main things that helped me get my foot in the door in tech, because your network is your net worth. If you're not collaborating, if you're not really reaching out and trying to work on things with people, right? You see all these people putting projects out on LinkedIn, or if you're not on LinkedIn yet, you're in this tech group on Facebook. You see a lot of people are trying to get in just like you. Why not reach out to somebody and see how y'all can do a project together, learn together, right? Bang your heads against the wall and just push yourself to the next level together. You know, I think that's one thing that Zaire always say. So, you know, he always put himself out there to learn more and to collaborate with others as well. And I know you got a great tip for them that we normally don't talk about, and you're gonna hit them over the head with this one. Tell them what it is, big dog.
Oh yeah, so it's definitely you got to work some kind of side contracts, right? If you've only got one stream of income, you're one stream of income away from having no income, right? And so if you do get hit with a layoff, it's a lot different if you still working other side contracts, right? I know some people have had to turn over to like Uber or Lyft, but kind of with the remote work, there's always the availability to kind of go find something that's about 10 hours a week, right? And so you might not be pulling in what you pull in from your full-time job, but just being able to go and have a contract under your belt is going to actually increase your income. And so worst case scenario, you do get let go from your primary job. You still have some sort of a cushion that it's not all the way down to zero. You might have to reprioritize some things, but that's also a great opportunity to learn new skill sets. Okay, so I talked about it earlier about working one job is going to get you really, really good at one thing. However, by working these side contracts, it's going to give you different exposures and actually allow you to come and do your primary job more efficiently, because you might be able to automate things differently. You might be able to essentially deploy architectures in a different way, so that you're not actually spending a lot of time at that primary job.
Yep. So I'm gonna say something that some people are not gonna like, but I want to give it to y'all real. So in this time, like, companies have showed that they can let you go at any time, right? They're laying off, and not only that, they're letting you go with years working for them, 20 years, 10 years, 15 years. They're letting you go through email, not even telling you face to face. So if they don't value your loyalty, then why should you be loyal? The person you should be looking out for is yourself, your family. Get that bag. Those contracts are here for you to, hey, listen.
Look,
There's people out here that got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 jobs. Get your bag, build your experience. So when this wave comes again, and let's say you got 3 jobs or 2 jobs, and that company decides to let you go that you was loyal to, you still got another one that's not affecting your lifestyle, and you could do this all over again. I know people don't want to talk about that, but we want to put that on the table because that is the actual fact.
Let me say something on the flip side of that too, right? And so if we talk about working a job, right, they're not loyal to you. The reality of the situation is that we're not married to these jobs either. I remember when I first met Broadus, came in to level up in tech. I was working for a company. They gave me my first shot, right, out of graduate school. So I really liked them. And I remember, talking to Broadus and some other folks. told them how much I loved my manager. And I was like, man, I don't want to do him like that. And he was like, you need to jump ship because you're being underpaid, right? So I had been there for 2 years. And I was like, man, I don't want to do him like that. I left out that job. I ain't heard from that man since. So, I mean, you can't be married to these jobs at all.
And I really got that fact from a friend of mine, Kanika Tower, who really puts that brand out there. Marry the dream, not the job. And when she said that to me, that really stuck. Like, yo, like really, I started looking at it as if I was dating someone, what would I accept from that person that I've dated? If that person is not giving me in a relationship what things that I want or things that I set in standards for myself, why would I take that from a job as well? If the job's not giving you what you want, the pay, number one, because we don't go to work for free, then you need to start looking at other jobs that's trying to woo you and get you to go out on a date and go out on a date and try them out, right? So, hey, listen, is this valuable for y'all? Put the yes in the chat. So I want to make sure this is valuable stuff. I want to see the yes in the chat.
I will also say contracts is a good way to date beforehand because a lot of them are contract to hire.
Yes, for sure. 3, 6 months, 9 months, a year contract, try them out. Let me see some yeses. I don't see no yeses yet. Maybe they coming. I want to make sure this is valuable. So right now, we're going to take the next few minutes to answer some questions. I know we got some questions out there. Let's see. Okay, so you mentioned a lot of companies are still looking for tech jobs, but what kinds of skills are good for those transitional roles, and do we need lots of certs for these roles? So that depends, right? So let's talk about transferable skills or transitional skills. For companies right now, if you're customer facing, being able to have a conversation is key, right? Being able to use if you're in sales or retail, if you're a banker, of any type of customer facing role you have, if you can have a conversation and really focus on the customer, that is what companies are really looking for. And do you need a lot of certs for these roles? That depends on the company. Last week we talked about certifications, and or the week before we talked about certifications and what it means and is necessary for companies. So you have some companies that are going to require you to have certifications because they have a vendor partnership that's requiring them to have a certain number of certified folks to maintain that level of partnership that they have. And you got some companies that don't really care about you having a certification as long as you're passionate enough and ready to do the job, ready to be curious, ready to dive in deep and really solve problems. That's exactly what they want. You got anything to add to that, Zaire?
No, you hit the nail directly on the head, right?
Okay.
It's all about making sure that the skills that you did gain in whatever field that you're in, knowing how they transfer over, I think is what the most important thing is, right? And so it makes no sense because a lot of these tech companies, it's a stereotype, but it's a stereotype for a reason, right? It's a lot of people there with a lot of information, but they can't convey the information, right? Going through that at work all the time, there's no documentation. We just got to keep going back to this one person and ask them questions. But if you don't ask the right question, you won't get the right information. And so being able to manage stakeholders, right, kind of keep everybody calm, even when, the plane is falling apart while you're flying is a very important skill.
Yeah, for sure. So don't be scared to, go to these companies and reach out to people within and ask them, what the day-to-day looks like, right? So you can have a good understanding of what you need to do. So that's it, really. You can learn a lot just by having those conversations. So thank you for that question, Will. Any more questions? We got, 45 more seconds. Drop your questions in the chat. This will look. If you want to take part in our next cohort, drop the LUs in the chat right now. The team is going to get with you. We're going to have a call with you to get that special promotion for everybody that's on this call right now. Special promotion. Join the Level Up in Tech program for the March cohort. Push yourself to the next level. It ain't going to be easy. Don't come in here thinking it's easy. But is it worth it? Yes, it's worth it because you know why? The cloud is yours. That's our motto for 2023 and on. The cloud is yours. If you want it, you can have it. If you want to work in the cloud, you can do it. Don't be scared. Jump, get to it, get the bag. Let me see what we got here.
Yeah, I think that's the most important thing about Level Up in Tech is, you don't have to sit there and wonder and guess and try to figure out which certifications you should go for, right? It's a plan. It's helped many people out already. It can help you out, right? We're always trying to elevate and modify the plan to make sure that it's actually up to date with what everybody needs. And so, kind of come give us your trust, and we'll definitely make sure that we can get you into the cloud road that you desire. So,
Yep. So make sure you just take a chance on yourself. There's plenty of great resources out there for you to get started. If you're looking for a program that's going to help you take it to the next level, I just told you what to do. Drop the LUs in the chat. Can you do this on your own? Yes, with discipline, consistency, or being consistent, excuse me, and really just making sure you do what you need to do every day. It may take you a little longer, but anybody can do this, whether by yourselves or whether we're mentor or through a program. Just be disciplined. This stuff is hard sometimes, and it may make you feel like you want to quit. But if you don't quit, you're going to receive a return on your investment that you never thought you would ever receive, especially if you're not in this industry already. All right, so that's our time. We appreciate. Oh, before I leave, I forget. Link right there. Join our Facebook group. We are doing these weekly live Q&As and chats every week during our Facebook group. So right now we're doing it on LinkedIn and Facebook. But after a while, we're going to cut LinkedIn off, and it's going to be for our people. That's specifically for our private Facebook. Join our group right now. That's the link right there on the page. Join it now. I can't stress this enough. If you want more of this content, join now. Thank you so much for your time. Zaire, I appreciate you so much for joining on this live, man. And y'all, keep leveling up in tech. The cloud is
cloud is
yours.
yours. There we
The
go. Thank y'all
cloud
so
is
much.
yours. And we see y'all later.